this is my so do I press the button?
How do I do it?
You have no control.
Okay, right, here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Thanks for the introduction, Neda, and thanks everybody here for joining us. This presentation is going to summarize some research that we've just done recently at NRGI on contract disclosure in resource-rich countries. With just a little word about NRGI, I was really slow there. This is us as an organization. We're 100 people. We work on governance in oil, gas, and mining countries. A lot of this work it focuses on policy advice and training and support. But we also look at transparency. And on transparency, we've been looking at transparency troika. This is like 3 things: so payments, beneficial ownership, and agreements. And the agreements are essentially contracts, and they sit at the top of the legal framework for projects in the extractive industry. And like, while the rest of the legal framework is always public, contracts are often secret, which is crazy. Can you believe that? So the kinds of things that are in project level agreements, company rights to natural resources, stabilization clauses, fiscal terms, operation and production commitments, worker health and safety, environmental obligations, and social obligations, all sorts of things in the public interest. The benefit of disclosing this stuff, they've got key information. It helps incentivize officials to negotiate strong contracts, enables civil society monitoring, balances information asymmetries between governments and companies, and it builds trust. Super important. So how has this norm come around? We've got this timeline. It's happened over 15 years. Starts with advocacy and moves to IFIs getting involved, and then private sector people getting involved with IFC, EBRD now involved. But big part of this is EITI. EITI is the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. It's the global standard on transparency in extractive industries. There's now 51 implementing countries, and it now encourages but does not require contract disclosure. We did a review of all of the 51 EITI countries, and this was 3 years after it came into effect, December 2016. And the results we found were quite striking, actually. The first thing is that we found is over half of EITI countries are already disclosing at least some contracts. That's way more than we ever thought. And it kind of suggests that that contract disclosure is already the norm, which is great news. In addition, there are legal provisions in 22 of the countries that we looked at, of these 51 countries. And we found that legal provisions really improve the ability of countries to disclose comprehensively and in a consistent way. If you look at the number of countries with laws requiring disclosure over time, you see how stark the change is more recently, and you can see as well that with the EITI encouragement that shot up a little bit more. So that's quite encouraging, but it's not all great. You see that 20 countries have made no progress on the issue whatsoever, and yeah, can you believe it? And this includes countries like Norway, who are considered to be the gold standard on this. In addition, there are 11 countries that are failing to publish according to requirements in their national laws, and there are 4 of these that aren't disclosing any contracts despite this. So know those countries and kill them off. Another thing is companies are not really pulling their weight. There are some that are. Cosmos Energy, for example, have said that they prefer disclosure. These guys have said they support it, but more countries companies need to come on board. Another challenge: annexes, amendments, and other related documents. It's not really clear a lot of the time what documents are needed to be accessed, and we need a list of pertinent documents for each project, and these are things that are not necessarily standardized, so difficult. Making contracts easy to find and browse. There's a great tool for this, resource contracts. Governments would be wise to use it. My colleague Anders at the back there, he manages that, so talk to him. Some reflections. Disclosure is simple, cheap, multiple benefits. It's a political thing. It's not a technical thing. Think about that. Sorry?
Tell the White House.
Yeah, exactly. Look at it for yourself. We've got all the data online in this in a Google Doc, and scrutinize it and tell me where we got it wrong, and we'll make it better. We're going to revisit it all next year. and keep sort of monitoring this as it goes along. Thanks a lot.